A United States Navy strike group arriving in the Caribbean, a newly unsealed indictment against former Cuban leader Raúl Castro that Cuba calls a pretext for war, and a Trump administration openly flouting military intervention.
Having a failed state 90 miles from our shores is a threat to the national security of the United States.
Will the US invade Cuba next? That is something that many here in Miami, known for its Cuban-American community, are asking themselves.
Nadie desea ver una invasión armada en su propio país. Y en todo caso es muy fácil desearlo desde aquí sentado uno en Miami. Pero lo ideal sería que se sentaran a negociar.
Many within the Cuban-American community agree that pressure from the US is not enough.
Por supuesto que agradecemos la presión que viene desde Washington y esa presión ojalá se multiplique dentro especialmente de las democracias occidentales, porque ese es el elemento que puede terminar con la impunidad con la que esos criminales ejercen la violencia contra ciudadanos desarmados que lo único que piden es lo mismo que tienen las democracias occidentales.
But while Cubans living here in South Florida overwhelmingly support some sort of military intervention in Cuba that is not reflected on a national level, there are some recent polls that show that a majority of US citizens oppose this type of military intervention, as there is growing criticism over other interventions by the United States, like for example in Iran. Many here agree that the driving force behind increased pressure on Havana is not President Trump, but his Secretary of State, Marco Rubio. His parents immigrated to the US a few years before Fidel Castro took power, and he has spent his political career advocating for regime change with a strong bipartisan support from the broader Cuban community.
Cuba's biggest enemy has always been the Cuban Americans. When I would talk to the Cubans, I would say, your problem is Miami. I know the dog, the United States, bites you often, but the person who tells that dog to bite you is us, right?
If the island gets bitten next and when depends on whether Cubans on both sides of the Strait of Florida are able to heal their wounds or simply let go of the leash.